And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today's a big old Friday, folks, and we still got one more film study to kind of watch. Before, I don't even know what. I mean, we're going to have like a free full week. I guess we can kind of recap what both of these teams have kind of been doing the entire year. But, we've been watching both these teams, the Bengals and the Rams, all season long. We get the gist of these teams. So we'll see how we move forward for the rest of all next week. Since once again, no football on. We get the Pro Bowl. Are we going to be talking about the Pro Bowl? Maybe a little Pro Bowl talk. Never hurt anybody. But, we've got one more film study to watch today. Looking at the Rams and their play calling. What are they calling on third downs? It's not like the Rams put up 50 points and were scoring on all their drives. They scored on most of their drives. Some resulted into field goals. And we had, some fourth quarter field goal drives where, a little bit safe play, little bit not aggressive. And is that going to hurt this Rams team in the Super Bowl, given what we just seen by this Bengals team, this Bengals defense locking up the Chiefs? So we're going to be watching the Rams play calling and focusing on what Sean McVay is kind of relying on in big key moments in big time games. So we'll watch that to see if we have any reserves heading into Super Bowl week on betting the Rams. Like we've already said, we love the Bengals plus 4.5 here, folks, but we'll see how this film study affects that, and then we've got the entire week to kind of look at maybe some abstract things that nobody's talking about that is kind of interesting that may influence our decision, but we've got an entire week to find that out, so we are not tripping over here. We've got time. So we've got that today on the show. Some more coaching news. Another team got a coach. So I think there's like three open spots. So we'll talk about that and kind of put it on the list if we like the hire. Spoiler alert, yes, we love the hire. It's about time this man got hired. So we've got all that today on the show, and then breaking down the NBA. So let's just start the show here, folks, and let's head over to the NBA. We'll get that out of the way. Then we will shift gears to the NFL. But here we go. Let's start here. And this is finally good news. Finally, the Jazz getting one of their big-time leaders back. That's why we've been staying away from betting this team and believing in this team, because without either Rudy Gobert or Donovan Mitchell, their two leaders, they still have talent, but they don't know how to win games without that leadership here. And they're getting a big-time leader back, folks. Donovan Mitchell has finally cleared concussion protocol, and after missing 8 consecutive games, Donovan Mitchell is expected to play tonight versus the Brooklyn Nets. So bettability is potentially there. We'll get to that at the end of our basketball talk here. We'll look at the line and see if it's good value, see if we feel like swallowing some points here for this Jazz team, now that they got kind of their A1 tier 1 leader back. But it's about gosh dang time Donovan Mitchell is back, and we'll see if this Jazz team can kind of reclaim the big top spot in the Western Conference, because they've got a lot of pieces once they're all healthy, and they're making strides to that. So expect Donovan Mitchell back tonight, folks. Should be fantastic. Alrighty, now let's start breaking down the games from last night. And folks, our dogs are back. Yes, sir. The Heat now kind of at full strength. We got Kyle Lowry back officially, and now this Heat team at full strength, back to being good, back to being dominant. A nice 17-point blowout win last night. Heat beating the Spurs 112-95. So the bettability's back. I know we were were kind of a little off. We revoked the nickname for the Heat, but now that they're winning with all their players healthy, the starting lineup of Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, PJ Tucker, and Bam Adebayo, this is the Heat team that we truly love. And now the bench players, the role players, can go back to just that, being the role players and being good, not having, the full weight of starting status on their shoulders. So everything should fall right back into place. We're rebuying this Heat team, expediting them. Bettability is back at 100%. The Heat are back, folks, okay? So, Heat last night, Jimmy Butler, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Well done. PJ Tucker going back to only 8 points now that other players are getting involved. They're at full strength. We don't need PJ Tucker to be that main scorer here. So 8 points on 5 shots. We absolutely love it. Bam Adebayo still doing his thing, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 4 steals. Look at that. Getting it done, a plus 26 on the floor, the highest by far. Duncan Robinson, 17 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. He's back at the 2, just shooting threes, 4 of 8 from the 3, bingo bango. And then Kyle Lowry back at it, only 2 points and 4 assists, but, wasn't taking the shots, only took 1 shot, missed it, but, getting reacclimated into full game status, only playing 25 minutes last night, getting right back into the chemistry here. So even with Kyle Lowry just not doing anything like overall big time productive in the stat sheet, his energy, his leadership, just his sheer presence right there, it's helping out everybody for the Heat. And then Tyler Hero led the team in scoring coming off the bench, 24 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, absolutely fantastic. And Dwayne Dedmon still getting a nice contribution of 9 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds off the bench in 14 minutes. So everybody's back, folks. The whole game is back. The kennel is back full, folks. And that's how exactly we love this Heat team, full kennel. All right, then the Spurs losing last night. We had Derek White with 22 points and Trey Jones with 16 points. Then everybody else had 7. Literally, everybody else had 7. Devin Vassell, 7 points. Keldon Johnson, 7 points. Thaddeus Young, 7 points, 8 rebounds. Shout out to Thaddeus Young. No Jacob Poeltl last night. He's in concussion protocol, but Thaddeus Young, a solid performance, 7 points, 8 rebounds. It's not bad overall. It's not great, but we like Thaddeus Young over here. But there's more 7-point performances, folks. We got to take down to the bench. Drew Eubanks, 7 points. Lonnie Walker, 7 points. So the Spurs team missing some of their players. DeJounte Murray out, no Jacob Poeltl out, so really no chance to win, and that's exactly what we saw last night. But the big news, folks, the big thing to take away is the dogs are back. When the kennel is full, all dogs eat. Dogs gotta bark, big barking, big woof, the true dog pound, standing on 4 legs, tails at the ready, one team, one bone, my man's best friend and worst enemy, and they're the pound till the ground, baby. The dogs, folks, are back. I could go dogs for days, folks. I will keep making these This is probably the one of the most that I was most impressed with myself for last night of coming up with. That should be the slogan for the Heat. Standing on 4 legs, tails at the ready. Oh, you want to go against these vicious dogs on all 4? That tail's not wagging. That tail is steady because they know they're going into battle. They're going into war. And the dogs are all cool under pressure. So the kennel, folks, the kennel, the dogs are all back, and we couldn't be happier. Heat get the win, 112-95. Alrighty, next game up here, Timberwolves at the Pistons. Timberwolves win, no problem, 128-117. Pistons aren't good, we know this. But the big 3 for the Timberwolves, Karl Anthony Towns, 21 points, 14 rebounds. Anthony Edwards, 25 points, 3 rebounds. Still no D'Angelo Russell, damn you. So still missing a third of the big 3. Patrick Beverley back in the starting lineup, 11 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, well done. Jared Vanderbilt, 13 points, 6 rebounds in the starting lineup, and Jaden McDaniels to round out the starters with a solid 10 points. But the bench, Malik Beasley, 18 points. Teron Prince coming out of nowhere with 23 points, 6 rebounds in only 24 minutes last night. So this Timberwolves team, they're winning and being really solid without D'Angelo Russell, so that's a huge green flag for when D'Angelo Russell comes back. Everybody hopefully can keep up the same, not same level of production, but the same level. I'm blanking on the word I want to use. The same level, but a smaller proportion, but the percentage is still there because obviously with D'Angelo Russell, overall production is going to come down for everybody because he can get the production, but it stays relative compared to what they've been doing here. If you followed that, if that made sense. But, Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns holding it down. Big trust there. And then they're facing the Pistons, so an easy win. But Jeremy Grant still out here, 20 points, 5 rebounds, solid night, getting reacclimated, only second game back. Saddiq Bey, 21 points, 8 assists, 13 rebounds. No Cade Cunningham last night, so we get Corey Joseph at the 1, 7 points, 6 assists. Nothing like Cade Cunningham. And then shout out to Frank Jackson coming off the bench of 25 big old points. And Trey Lyles with a solid 13 points coming off the bench to make it a little competitive out here. But Pistons overall can't get it done. They lose 128 to 117, and we'll see what they do with Jeremy Grant at the trade deadline. Alrighty, next game up is the Bulls at the Raptors, and this goes into overtime, and we stayed away from betting this game, and we just wanted to use this game as a nice gauge game. And what do we learn? Both these teams are really good. Shout out to the Raptors of getting it done in overtime. Shout out to Nick Nurse. And once again, this Raptors team, they don't get the big play in the media, social media, anything like that, but this is such a solid team, folks. Just look at this production last night, folks, by everybody. Everybody eats, and there's no superstar on this team. That's what makes this team so impressive. Nick Nurse is so impressive as a head coach, folks. Truly. Here we go. Let's break down these stats because these are magnificent. The starting 5, here we go. Fred VanVleet, 21 points, 9 assists. Wonderful. The facilitator and the scorer. You gotta love it. Gary Trent Jr., 16 points, shooting 3 of 8 from the 3. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Siakam still playing the 5. And I'll say it again, folks. Y'all know what I'm going to say. Go ahead, say it. Y'all know what I'm going to say. Siakam at the 5. Put this man into MVP conversation. Still Jokic, I think, should be number 1. Joel Embiid, potentially 1B as well. But I'm putting Pascal Siakam at 1C. Do I dare say that? Not even number 2 out here. 1C? Is this a 3-player race for MVP, all kind of at the same level? You got to give credit to Siakam. 25 points, 7 assists, 13 rebounds. This is a little bit of Jokic-esque. This is Joel Embiid-esque right here, folks. Always threatening triple-doubles, getting double-doubles, the points, the rebounds, dominant defense, all of that. Siakam, folks. Siakam. You don't have to fully kind of vote for him as MVP, but I think we all should be thinking about this man potentially being top 3 considered of MVP. So let's get that going, shall we? OG Anunoby, 21 points, 6 assists. Scotty Barnes, Rookie of the Year, 21. Folks, we could have Rookie of the Year and MVP all on the same team and potentially competing for a ring. Nick Nurse, give this man a round of applause, folks. The man can coach. If there's one thing we know, Nick Nurse can coach, folks. Absolutely. Scotty Barnes, 21 points, 8 rebounds. And then we get the bench, folks. Chris Boucher, 16 points, 10 rebounds. Precious, 5 points, 11 rebounds coming off the bench, folks. Everybody gets it done. Everybody eats. So shout out to the Raptors of getting a win. Let's quickly check. Where are they currently in the standings? All right, here we go. The Toronto Raptors are currently the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference, so they're in the play-in tournament currently. They're about a game and a half back from the 6th seed, knocking off Brooklyn of being in the top 6 and guaranteeing a playoff spot. So there's still more work to be done here for the Hornets, but man, oh man, folks, I would not want to face this team in the playoffs. They're a tough out, and they could potentially spoil everybody. The Bulls are the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, and we just saw the game play out last night. The Raptors win. So shout out to the Raptors. Just because they're not getting the big play in the media, folks, this team is real legit, the real deal, and it all starts at the coaching position. You got to respect it. Alrighty. All right, now let's talk about the Bulls here. Still a solid team, folks. Absolutely. They got their big three. Wonderful. We get DeMar DeRozan, 28 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Vucevic, 30 points, 18 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, this is Pascal Siakam-esque. No, folks? Come on. Respect the bigs. And the best thing about Pascal Siakam is that he's like 6'8", folks. He's like the smallest big that there is. But they're still winning and looking good while having them at the 5. You can put them anywhere, folks. MVP, truly. All right, Zach Levine, 15 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. And then, once again, still no Kobe White in the starting lineup, rocking with Ayo at the 1. 11 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. Kobe White coming off the bench, 16 points, 2 assists. Solid production once again. But that was really it. This Bulls team, that's their one downfall. They are not that deep overall and truly rely on their big three to truly get it done. So Bulls come up just a little bit short in overtime, but well done to the Raptors. Raptors get the win, 127-120. Alrighty, here we go. Next game up, and folks, this team is the real deal officially. The Hawks are back, 100%. Bettability is already at like 90% now, folks. The Hawks are the real deal because they were able to take down the Suns last night, 124-115. A wonderful performance by this Hawks team. They would hit a big three, a big shot. The Suns would answer, but then the Hawks would answer right on back, not giving your opponent that momentum that definitely the Suns feed on. And that's what, made us so impressed with the Suns the other night, against the Nets, when once again the Nets were kind of, answering everything with the Suns, and then the Suns would come back and answer right there. So the Hawks were kind of doing the same thing that we were truly gushing over the Suns with the other night. So shout out to this Hawks team, folks. They are officially back. They definitely struggled the early part of the season, but this Hawks team is exactly where they were last season, folks. Dominant, great, top elite team in this league that nobody really wanted to face and can win a playoff series, absolutely. So Hawks are back. They get the win against the best team in the league, the Suns, folks. What do we got with this Hawks team now? Since they just won, we get them at the 10th seed. They're 8-2 in their last 10, and once again they still got a little bit of work to do because they started off the season so poorly, but I mean they're making their way up into the top 6 potentially right here. They're about 4 games out from getting the 6th seed, a guaranteed playoff spot, but I mean you don't want to face this team in the play-in tournament because they are definitely securing one of the last 2 seeds that are up for grabs in the play-in tournament. So for the Hawks last night, Trae Young, 43 points, 6 of 11 from the 3, 5 assists to go along with that. Kevin Huerter, 19 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Clint Capella, 6 points, but those 12 boards, absolutely. John Collins, such a great piece here, such a great 4. He can be the scoring piece that you need. He could be the defense. He could be the rebounder. He's a perfect 4 for this Hawks team, 19 points, 10 rebounds, and then DeAndre Hunter with the solid 13 points. And we get Bogdanovich coming off the bench here. Then this is kind of this was kind of the transformation, bringing Bogdanovich down to the bench during this kind of like 8-2 stretch for their last 10 games. So this is working. Bogdanovich, 11 points, 6 assists, 3 of 7 from the 3 off the bench. Still playing 35 minutes, but still coming off the bench there, and it's starting to work. And then Danilo Gallinari, always consistent, always reliable, 12 points, 6 rebounds off the bench, and that's enough for this Hawks team to get it done. Alrighty, and then for the Suns team, and, we're not going to knock the Suns for losing. They were on an 11-game winning streak. You lose. I mean, that happens in the NBA, folks. We really can't overreact to a loss or maybe back-to-back losses. That's why we were taking it slow with the Heat when they were during that stretch, but now they're back at full strength. So, teams lose in the NBA. In the NFL, 1 loss is a big loss. It changes everything. But once again, 82 games here in the NBA. Got to kind of think about it a little bit differently. So, yes, they lose. Okay, it's unfortunate, but this is still a fantastic team. We get Chris Paul, 18 points, 12 assists. Devin Booker, 32 points. He only shot 1 of 8 from the 3, and that's kind of where they were lacking last night. Suns only scored 9 threes, while the Hawks scored 20. And we definitely know that's the Hawks game. High outside shooting. That's what they're made for. Trae Young facilitating and all that. So, Devin Booker struggled from the 3. DeAndre Ayton down low, 6 points, only 9 rebounds. Jay Crowder, 10 points, 6 rebounds. And then McCall Bridges, a solid 24 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds. Getting into the starting lineup. Coming off the bench, JaVale McGee is still getting it done. 12 points coming off the bench. He shot 100%. And then Cameron Johnson, a solid 13 points, 8 rebounds to help out. But came up a little bit short because of the 3 ball, which Atlanta is absolutely fantastic at shooting. So, Hawks put up 124 points and win 124-115. All right, next game up, we get the Kings at the Warriors, and an easy win here for this Warriors team, winning 126-114 over the Kings. Steph Curry, 20 points, 7 assists. It's Klay Thompson, 23 points, shooting 7 of 9 from the 3. Splash Brothers are officially back. You love to see it. We get Andrew Wiggins playing the 4 here. Usually at the 3, but they bring him down to the 4. Only 12 points last night, 4 assists, 1 rebound, so a little bit light on his overall production of what we've seen him do at the 3, but they move Moses Moody to the 3, and he only had 6 points and 4 rebounds on 28% shooting. So we'll see if they still stick with this starting lineup. I don't think I love it. I like Andrew Wiggins at the 3, but we'll see. And then coming off the bench, Jordan Poole, 12 points, 5 rebounds. Damian Lee, 14 points, 4 rebounds. And then Jonathan Kuminga, another fantastic performance, 18 points, 7 rebounds coming off the bench. Jonathan Kuminga, folks, who saw this man coming and being a dominant force for this Warriors team? So this Warriors team has pieces, folks. And once they get Draymond Green back for the big 3 with Andrew Wiggins, make it the big 4. And then having Jordan Poole and Jonathan Kuminga coming off the bench. I mean, this is a deep Warriors team that needs respect, must be commanding respect at the current moment, folks. This is not a team you want to face. And then for the Kings last night, still no De'Aaron Fox, so Davion Mitchell at the 2, 26 points, 8 assists, and we've seen Davion Mitchell keep growing and growing and growing and getting better every single game. So once again, this Kings team has an opportunity for, big trades at the trade deadline. Get draft picks. I don't love draft picks, but teams, they love to acquire them. Fans always gush over draft picks. So the Kings have the opportunity to do that. Maybe try and get a big time superstar. I don't know if anybody's looking to go to the Kings, but I mean, you got Buddy Hield, you've got De'Aaron Fox that you can trade, and I'm real interested. I really think the Kings should do something. I mean, the Kings and the Pacers, they have nothing to lose. They've been bad for so long, and you haven't been winning with the pieces, Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox. Those pieces don't result into wins there. It doesn't seem like you're trying to build around them because you have been bad for so long. So we'll see what they do here, but keep a big eye on the Kings at the trade deadline, folks. We'll see what they do. But back to the roster, Davion Mitchell, real great performance, 26 points, led the team in scoring, 8 assists, led the team in assists, got to respect it. Tyrese Halliburton, a solid performance, 10 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, and then Harrison Barnes, a solid 25 points on 72% shooting, absolutely well done. Buddy Hield, a little disappointed last night, 2 of 6 from the 3, only putting up 6 points off the bench. But the Warriors get the win, 126-114. And then the final game of the night here, Lakers at the Clippers. No LeBron, but man, oh man, was this a wild game. Clippers really winning all throughout, but then the fourth quarter happened, the final 2 minutes happened, the final 30 seconds happened, and it was absolutely crazy. So let's take it right from here, folks. Lakers down 1 point, 108-109 to the Clippers with 18 seconds left. Russell Westbrook has the ball, folks. And once again, everybody's silent on Russell Westbrook. Nobody gives him his praise, his props when he does something fantastic or clutch or good. And, as soon as he does something bad, everybody is on him right that instant. People are taking to Twitter bashing Russell Westbrook. So once again, we don't bash Russell Westbrook here, and I didn't see anybody like, oh my God, Russell Westbrook with a fantastic pass, because here we go. Lakers down 1, Russell Westbrook to Anthony Davis lob here, and just look at this pass. Look at how he sees the play, he reads the play, absolute perfection of where he placed this ball for Anthony Davis to go up and get it, and the Lakers take a 1-point lead, but nobody was praising Russell Westbrook. Everybody was praising Anthony Davis, and that's fine. He scored the bucket, but for the way that y'all talk about Russell Westbrook here, not giving him any love or respect, folks, it truly shows that, y'all just love to bash on him for not for no reason. We understand why you do it, but you don't give him his praise, so it's not fair. So once again, why we don't bash Russell Westbrook, folks. He's great. We see glimpses of greatness. We also get glimpses of not greatness. We understand that, but for what he brings to this game, folks, to say that this man's a bum or a dud or can't win, I just don't buy into it, folks. So Russell Westbrook, a solid clutch lob right there, but then it's Reggie Jackson going confident here, skipping up midcourt, and then he just ends up driving to the lane, easy peasy, put him in a spin cycle, and that's an easy game-winning layup right there. Clippers come right back, go up 111 to 110. Now 4 seconds left, no timeouts for the Lakers here. Anthony Davis is going coast to coast and going to throw up a little bit of a floater that just barely doesn't go down. It was halfway down the cylinder, folks. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Unfortunately, bounces out, and that's a loss for the Lakers. And man, oh man, the Lakers cannot afford any losses, and definitely against, rival Clippers, all of that. But well done for the Clippers, winning 111 to 110. Once again, the pups of the Clippers, the adolescent dogs of the Clippers, just fighting and scrapping without Paul George. Big time role players here. And once again, Tyronn Lue deserves so much credit for how good of a coach he actually is. Nick Nurse, Ty Lue working, winning games without that kind of big superstar, and that's like the number one rule in the NBA. Get your superstar and try to assemble a big three if you want to win a ring. But here we go, the Clippers, no superstars at the current moment. Yes, they have Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, but they're not playing, obviously, and they're still winning. And with the Raptors, Fred VanVleet's not a superstar. Siakam's not a superstar. There's no superstar on that team, but they're winning games. Shout out to coaching, folks. Truly great coaches here in the NBA. Gotta respect it. So for the Clippers last night, Reggie Jackson, 25 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds. We get Serge Ibaka playing the 5, 20 points last night and 8 rebounds. Wonderful job. Marcus Morris led the team in scoring, 29 points, 7 rebounds. And then Luke Kennard coming off the bench with the solid 10 points production for them, for their bench. So Clippers getting the win here. And then for the Lakers, we get Malik Monk. He had a big-time 3. Before that kind of final sequence that we watch, Malik Monk hit a big-time 3 that gave the Lakers the lead. What we've been saying, Malik Monk's going to be a huge key for the success and failure of this Lakers team, especially if they get into the playoffs. But Malik Monk at the 3, 21 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. Anthony Davis, 30 points, 17 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and almost had the game-winning shot. And then Russell Westbrook, 17 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, only 2 turnovers, and he was a +5 on the floor. That was the best of the starters, folks. Avery Bradley, a -13 on the floor. Anthony Davis, a -6 on the floor. Stanley Johnson, a -9 on the floor. Malik Monk, a -7 on the floor. But it's Russell Westbrook, and everybody is silent on him. Why? Y'all got to praise him. For as much as y'all knock this man, you must praise him when he gives us these good performances, these positive on the floor productions here, because if you just focus on social media, which a lot of people do, you would think that Russell Westbrook is the worst player ever to ever step foot onto the floor. So Russell Westbrook, once again, shouting this man out. We never knock him here. There's no reason to knock him. We get great production by this man. So Russell Westbrook, fantastic, folks. Fantastic? Good, very good. All right, Talen Horton-Tucker off the bench, 9 points. Carmelo Anthony, only 7 points, only taking 4 shots. So Lakers just came up a little bit short and unfortunately couldn't lock up defensively in that final possession. Just let Reggie Jackson just go the entire length of the floor. Easy spin cycle layup for the win. Not great. But the Clippers get the win, 111 to 110. Alrighty, that was all of the games from last night, but now let's take a look at what's on tap for tonight in the NBA to see if we can make a little bit of money, any great value. I'm excited to see what this Jazz spread is, to see if we can finally bet this Jazz in a long time. We haven't been able to do it because Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell out, but Donovan Mitchell back. But let's see who's in and out here tonight and where the great value is to see if we can make a little bit of money in the NBA. So here we go. First game up, Celtics at the Pistons. Pistons on the back-to-back, so we're definitely staying away from this one. Pistons just not good either, so we're staying away from this one. Now, it's the Celtics team. They are turning the corner, so, got to see another kind of dominant win here. Everybody's good to go here for the Celtics, so got to expect them to win here. So we'll see if they do it to kind of keep themselves in our good graces over here. But we're staying away from Celtics Pistons. Then we get the Cavs at the Hornets. Cavs plus 4.5, Hornets minus 4.5 here, assuming Darius Garland is out because of this spread, and Darius Garland is still out. I mean, getting plus 4.5 here with the Cavs, that would have been a no-brainer, but we need Darius Garland. Lauri Markkanen also out for the Cavs, where for the Hornets, we get Gordon Hayward a game-time decision, and they truly need him back. So, gonna stay away from this one. Can't bet the Cavs with no Darius Garland in this Hornets team, folks. We've been saying it for the last 2 weeks here. Super inconsistent, no bet ability there. All right, then we get the Bulls at the Pacers. Bulls on the back-to-back, so we're not going to be betting this game. Bulls minus 2.5, Pacers plus 2.5 here. Always betting against the Pacers is always a solid bet. Zach Levine, a game-time decision. Kobe White is a game-time decision. And I think Kobe White is actually not going. I think is that news already out? Let me quickly go to our favorite Twitter account, NBA Fantasy Labs. I believe I saw something. Kobe White is questionable Friday. Zach Levine, questionable Friday. I don't know if I would expect them to be playing. So the spread being them minus 2.5 kind of shows that they would be playing, but overall I would just stay away from betting this one for 2 reasons. All those game time decisions, and they're on the back-to-back. So we are officially staying away from Bulls Pacers. Then we get Hawks and Raptors. Oh my God. This is going to be a game, folks. Holy moly. Both of these teams with great wins last night, now having to go against each other. Wow. We're going to truly see, all these kind of gauge teams turning the corner teams. Who's going to be the best of the best? We just had the Hawks beat the Suns. We just had the Raptors beat the Bulls, and they had to face each other now. Oh man, we're going to see who's good, who's the best of the best. So, wow, this could be an entertaining game. We're going to stay away from betting it, obviously, for the back-to-back reason, but this is going to be a great one to watch, definitely. But Hawks plus 2.5, Raptors minus 2.5 here. Lou Williams and John Collins, a game-time decision for the Hawks, and Goran Dragic is still out for the Raptors. So, staying away from this one because of the back-to-back. Then we get the Rockets at the Spurs. Spurs on the back-to-back. We're staying away from that because of that, and also because these two teams are very, very not good. Rockets plus 5, Spurs minus 5. No, thank you. All right, here we go. Nets at the Jazz. Here we go. Nets plus 3.5. Jazz minus 3.5. Okay, folks, only have to swallow 3.5 here. Let's check the ins and outs. It's on the road, so Kyrie Irving can play. LaMarcus Aldridge is out, though, for the Nets. For the Jazz, Hassan Whiteside, a game-time decision. Jordan Clarkson, a game-time decision. Rudy Gobert is still out, but we get our man back, folks. Donovan Mitchell, and we only have to swallow 3.5. Let's check NBA Fantasy Labs to see if we get any confirmation. I would like to kind of have firm knowledge that Hassan Whiteside and Jordan Clarkson are playing for their bench. Also Hassan Whiteside for the bigs because no Rudy Gobert. So what do we got here? We got any concrete information? Does not seem so, but I'm going to expect them to go when we get Donovan Mitchell back, folks, the leader here. So we're going to swallow 3.5. This Nets team, they just seem like they're imploding. They can't win down the stretch. They have some nice performances overall. Kyrie Irving, James Harden, we know they're great, but not winning together. Just lost against the Kings the other night. That's totally unacceptable for this Nets team. So only having to swallow 3.5 here, folks. Absolutely love the value. Jazz minus 3, Donovan Mitchell back. All right, then we get the Pelicans at the Nuggets, and this Nuggets team has been truly impressing us over the last couple of games here. 6-4 in their last 10, truly getting it done. Pelicans +6, Nuggets -6. Ooh, I don't know about this spread. This seems a little wild to give the Pelicans +6. Let's make sure everybody's good to go. We get Garrett Temple out. Josh Hart is a game-time decision. Willie Hernandez-Gomez is out, but we get Brandon Ingram, and we get our man Valanciunas. So, alrighty, whereas for the Nuggets, everybody's good to go besides DeMarcus Cousins being a game-time decision. So I think I like the Pelicans +6 here. This Nuggets team is good, folks, but once again, they're just truly reliant on Jokic. We'll see if they can cover the spread here. We're going to officially stay away from it, but if I were to bet this game, I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards the Pelicans plus the points there. We'll see if this Nuggets team can continue their steamroll of being really, really good, folks. Really good. Alrighty. Last two games here quickly. 76ers at the Mavericks. 76ers +2, Mavericks -2. Alrighty. Let's see who's all in and out here for the 76ers. Seth Curry is a game-time decision, and Furkan Korkmaz is out. For the Mavericks, Porzingis is still out. Tim Hardaway Jr. is still out, and this Mavericks team, ever since Porzingis has been out, they've just kind of been a little lackluster in the win department, where the 76ers team coming down to the wire here against some teams. Just lost against the Wizards the other night, beat the Grizzlies in overtime the other night. I'm going to trust the 76ers to get it done. Joel Embiid dominant down low, going against only Maxi Kleber, probably solid, but overall, no Porzingis. I'm going to say no problem here, or a problem, I should say, for the Mavericks. No problem for the 76ers, and we get 2 points. I'm going to take the 2 here with the 76ers on the road. Then the final game of the night, the Thunder at the Blazers. Thunder +8, Blazers -8, and we've got a bad taste in our mouth for this Blazers team over the last 3 games, losing their last 3 games, where this Thunder team has been winning their last 2 games, looking good. So we're going to stay away from this game to see if what we've been seeing the last 5 games combined between these two teams, if that's the real deal, or once again, this mini downturn that we're in, that we've seen, this mini stretch of games that teams go through in an NBA season. So we'll see if that's true, or if these teams are actually good, if the Blazers are actually good and the Thunder are still trash. So we're gonna stay away from this game to truly see how these teams are and use it as a gauge game. So only sticking with the Jazz -3.5 in the 76ers +2 tonight. Alrighty, that is all the NBA we had to go over for today. So now let's shift gears to the NFL. And before we get into our final film study of the week, we've got to talk about some stories here. Once again, coaching news at the forefront and some other things to touch upon. So here we go. Let's start with the first story up. And another team has claimed their coach, folks. And we thought this was the best option at the beginning of kind of the coaching process of all the coaches that were available. And this man finally got hired. It's about dang time, and it's a pretty good fit. So here we go. The Jaguars officially hire head coach Doug Peterson, folks. Yes. Eagles head coach that, took Nick Foles to the Super Bowl. Absolutely fantastic. And that unfortunately got canned after Carson Wentz truly showed that he's trash. So once again, that final year, was it Doug Peterson? Was it Carson Wentz? Now that we saw Carson Wentz be absolutely garbage, unclutch, garbage, unreliable, no big time factor with the Colts, we now know Doug Peterson is actually the real deal and Carson Wentz is the fraud. So Doug Peterson, a great coach, folks. We talk about it all the time. He came in and won instantly when he became the head coach of the Eagles in 2016. We get him going 7-9 his first year, not making the playoffs, and then his second year 13-3, won the Super Bowl. Carson Wentz goes down, has to switch to Nick Foles. Still, the offense was fantastic, and he's able to win a Super Bowl with Nick Foles, and we know that's impressive because Nick Foles couldn't even beat out Mitch Trubisky and Andy Dalton for the starting quarterback position for the Bears. So all these kind of lackluster quarterbacks that Doug Peterson he's always made work. Now, Trevor Lawrence, in college he was good, but we have seen Trevor Lawrence get worse every single year. He won the national championship his first year with Clemson, and it was never as good as that year one, and we just saw him this season. We never really saw him get better. He made some nice throws here and there. He showed okay glimpses here and there, but overall, for the majority, I didn't see a natural getting better progression by Trevor Lawrence. So, if we just kind of put it at, worst case scenario, Trevor Lawrence is not a good quarterback. Doug Peterson should still be able to win with them. And if, it's just, rookie year, not good, that's classic. We've seen that before, and that could be just Trevor Lawrence. Hey, not all rookies are good right out of the gate. It rarely happens that they're real good right out of the gate. Patrick Mahomes didn't even play his first year. They sat him for an entire year. So, if Trevor Lawrence is good, Doug Peterson with a good quarterback, the league should truly be put on notice, folks. Absolutely. So, what a wonderful hire here. Doug Peterson back in the league. We absolutely love it. Got a little kind of, hosed last year of not being able to find a home and having to kind of, spend the entire season on the couch, but he's back in the saddle, folks, of the Jacksonville Jaguars, having to kind of just do better than Urban Meyer, which obviously he can do. And another thing about, Doug Peterson is that he's always kind of been just a winner. He started with the Eagles, always kind of following Andy Reid. That's his kind of his dad, his parent coach, if you want to say that. So started in 2009 with the Philadelphia Eagles as an offensive quality control coach, and this was with Michael Vick. Those Michael Vick Eagles days, 2009 to 2012. That's when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles. And 11-5 year one, offensive quality control. 10-6, 2010 as once again offensive quality control. He does go to quarterbacks coach for the Eagles from 2011 to 2012, and they didn't have success. He went 8-8 and 4-12, but that was also with Michael Vick kind of at the end of his career. And Michael Vick was never like this great passer. He was a great runner, absolutely decent dual threat, but he just didn't really make it work when he was the quarterbacks coach with Michael Vick. Now, is Doug Peterson, maybe he just can't coach dual threat quarterbacks? Maybe that's not his style, because we've seen him work with Alex Smith with the Chiefs, obviously not dual threat. We've seen him work with Carson Wentz, not dual threat. Nick Foles, not dual threat, and always have success with those quarterbacks. But with Michael Vick at the end of his career, dual threat quarterback, Doug Peterson really didn't make it work. So that's like his only knock for Doug Peterson. Potentially he can't coach and doesn't know how to kind of scheme for dual threat quarterbacks. But luckily for the Doug Peterson and the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence is not a dual threat quarterback. So either way you slice it, this is a great hire for Doug Peterson. Absolutely. And this is a side note here, but this speaks to how great Patrick Mahomes is as kind of a little bit of a dual threat, obviously not as dual threat as Michael Vick, but is as athletic as Michael Vick, I think we could say. And, Michael Vick, he just was not the passer, folks. I mean, his best completion percentage season was 62%. This man is always throwing 50% completion percentage for the entire year. His career average is 56% completion percentage, folks. That's absolutely miserable. So that speaks to, once again, athleticism always getting better every single year. So we can't really kind of take players from the 70s and 80s, calling them the greatest of all time, folks. And it just speaks to how great Patrick Mahomes is, of how great he's able to be accurate with the ball. Lamar Jackson, better arm than Michael Vick overall. So just a little side note there. And I'm always astonished of how trash these completion percentage numbers are with Michael Vick. But either way you slice it, we love Doug Peterson. And then, for the Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator with Andy Reid, 2013 to 2015, went 11-5, 9-7, 11-5, working with Alex Smith, just a prototypical drop back passer, having success there. So we know Doug Peterson, he's just a winner, folks. Overall, 106, 85-1 record. That's a 55% win percentage there, 5-6 in the playoffs as well. But we know he can win. He can, go on the fly. He can kind of, freestyle. He can improv. Once again, with Carson Wentz going down, having your starting quarterback go down at the end of the year, that's always almost supposed to be like a death sentence for your team. Doug Peterson turned that death sentence into a Lombardi trophy, into a statue out in front of Philadelphia Stadium. And now here he is with a former number 1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence, and they have the number 1 overall pick this season, and they have some cap space. So watch out for this Jaguars team. We saw Zach Taylor take the Bengals from worst to first here in 2 seasons. Watch out for Doug Peterson to do the same. Absolutely great hire. So let's go to our board here. Let's fill in the Jaguars. They got Doug Peterson. This is the best hire. The best hire. They got the best guy. We're going to put that too. The best hire. They got the best guy. All in caps. Doug Peterson is a winner. Doug is a winner. Doug is a winner and can make Trevor Lawrence a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. Absolutely. So far, these teams are kind of knocking it out of the park. We don't love the Raiders with Josh McDaniels. We really thought they should have kept Rich Bisaccia, and we're hearing the players speak out there. So we don't love the Raiders. Let's also update that. We got to update that in our kind of, once again, our slide here that we got working. Got the right guy for 2022. Putting all the teams that have acquired a new head coach this offseason, getting our thoughts on it, and then we will kind of come back to this list as the offseason progresses, as next year comes, and see how, our initial thoughts and all that played out next season. So putting it down here, folks, we are putting our official takes down on paper for everybody to see. We've got no problem. But let's go back to this Raiders one. Players don't seem to love the decision. Probably should have kept Bisaccia. That's what we're going to put for our Raiders tab. Probably should have kept Bisaccia. Raiders, questionable call there. Jaguars, they hit it out of the park. Giants hit it right out of the park with Brian Dable. Broncos with Nathaniel Hackett hit it right out of the park. Bears going defensive guy. We don't think that's the right decision for Justin Fields. So far we've got 5 teams hiring a head coach. 3 fantastic decisions. 2, I don't know if that's the direction y'all should have went into. But we're still waiting on the Saints, the Dolphins, the Texans, and the Vikings. And we'll hear some stories up here in a second about what these teams are planning on doing, and we'll talk that through. But let's finish here of Doug Peterson of the Jaguars. The Jaguars release an official statement from Shad Khan on Doug Peterson. So let's see why he kind of hired him and what their plan is. So here we go. Statement from Shad Khan says, quote, Doug Peterson 4 years ago won a Super Bowl as head coach of a franchise in pursuit of its first world championship. I hope Doug can replicate that magic here in Jacksonville, but what is certain is his proven leadership and experience as a winning head coach in the National Football League. It's exactly what our players deserve, nothing less. And this is what we always clamor for, always kind of put at the forefront whenever we talk coaching, folks. What do we say? We always say offensive minded and leadership. And right there, leadership, his proven leadership and experience, offensive experience, Philly special, implementing a scheme, a playbook for Nick Foles in the playoffs last second, making Nick Foles comfortable in all the plays, all the schemes that he was running to have Nick Foles be successful in the playoffs and go all through the gauntlet of the playoffs in the Super Bowl, in the big game, and then go toe-to-toe with Tom Brady and outplay Tom Brady? I mean, folks, this is a coach, proven leadership, proven experience, winning experience. So for all that alone, folks, Shad Khan, he's getting it right with Doug Peterson. And I want to quickly take a look at Nick Foles. I want to see his overall career, his stats in the playoffs. Were these good playoff games? Let's go back quickly here. Let's go to his postseason game logs during his Super Bowl run. Here we go. Game 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. He goes 76% completion percentage, 246 yards, no touchdowns, but no picks. But that's efficient, folks, and they win 15-10. Next game against the Minnesota Vikings, absolutely blow them out, 38-7. Nick Foles, 78% completion percentage, 352 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. And then in the Super Bowl against Tom Brady, puts up 41 points, 65% completion percentage, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. But this is fantastic right here. This playoff run, folks, these stats are absolutely immaculate. In a huge game where he wasn't playing all year long, when he wasn't the starting quarterback, but Doug Peterson retools the playbook, retools the offense, makes it so Nick Foles is they're calling plays for Nick Foles that they know he can have success in. The Philly special, having that input for Nick Foles. Once again, we kind of had like the same thing here. Nick Foles and Doug Peterson on the sideline, and Doug Peterson's like, you want to do Philly special? And I think even Nick Foles, he was the one that kind of was like, hey, Philly special, Philly. And Doug Peterson was like, yeah, you want that? Absolutely, we'll call that. Listening, taking that input from your players, your other coaching staff, leaders. Leadership, folks. Yes, that's what you want at the head coaching position, okay? Love the hire here. Love the hire by the Jaguars for Doug Peterson. This, I can't express, folks. We've been waiting for Doug Peterson to get hired, folks, and now he is, and this is exactly why he really should have been the first head coach hired this hiring cycle. Knocked it out of the park, and we still got one more paragraph here from the statement, so let's gush over it even more here. Here we go. Back to the quote from Shad Khan. Says, quote, combine this with his acumen on the offensive side of the ball. Folks, we just said that. Shad Khan, we're ahead of you, baby. We already know. Combine this with his offensive acumen. Yes. You made Nick Foles good. Do you know how hard that is, folks? Nick Foles is not good. I don't know if y'all know this, but this man is not good, folks. Not at all. Can't be a starter. Can't win as a starting quarterback. But Doug Peterson found a way to win with him. Man, Matt Nagy couldn't even win with him, and they all called Matt Nagy a genius. It's not true, folks. The man's not a genius. We know this. But back to this quote here. Let's finish this up because I'm ready to explode with how great this decision. I'm about to be a Jaguars fan, folks. Screw it. This is it. This is the pick. Trevor Lawrence will be a Super Bowl winning quarterback in 2 years. Give him 2 years. That's a Super Bowl winning coach and quarterback right there. Man, oh man. All right, back to the quote. Combine this with this acumen on the offensive side of the ball, and you have why I am proud to name Doug Peterson the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know our fans will warmly welcome Doug. Y'all better, because I'm not even a fan of the Jaguars, and I'm truly gushing and I'm truly warmly welcoming Doug Peterson to the Jaguars. Absolutely. Warmly welcome Doug and his family to Duval. And I personally look forward to having Doug as part of everything we envision for our team, downtown, and community in the years ahead. So this is the start of something special in Jacksonville. You made the wrong hire with Urban Meyer, and we all knew it. And y'all, I give credit to the Jaguars of kind of coming to their senses, firing him, mid-late season. That was the right call. And then they go and fix that worst call that you could ever make of hiring Urban Meyer, and you follow that up with the best call that you could ever make, hiring Doug Peterson. An absolutely home run. It's a grand slam right here by the Jaguars of hiring Doug Peterson. Absolutely love it. Man, oh man, how great. Woof. Man, oh man. Get excited, Jags. Get excited. You've got the guy. Alrighty, another team that is still looking for their head coach is the Saints, and they are going to interview Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. Now, at the beginning of the kind of coaching hiring cycle, obviously Eric Bieniemy's name's always tossed out there because he's been great offensively for the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes' offensive mind. So we definitely endorse Eric Bieniemy for any head coaching job. We didn't really want him to take any job because, once again, going back to, do you need to be the guy. They were building something special, a potential dynasty here in Kansas City. But with how this season just ended, of kind of, losing the AFC Championship game in kind of the fashion that they did, I think, Eric Bieniemy, I'm kind of clearing him from kind of, sticking with the Chiefs. They've tried it. This dynasty is just not quite taking off. It's a great 4-year stretch, don't get us wrong, but I would kind of give Eric Bieniemy, I'm kind of endorsing him for a head coaching spot now. The dynasty's not working. It's not totally getting there. It's still stalling in the Super Bowl, in the championship game. Still a little sputter here and there during the regular season. So, I don't really see this Chiefs dynasty truly coming into fruition, especially now with Patrick Mahomes' contract truly going to be a factor here in all their other personnel decisions. So I know early in the offseason, this season, this hiring cycle, we didn't want to see Eric Bieniemy become a head coach because we didn't want him to kind of, I don't want to say ruin the Chiefs dynasty, because I still think the Chiefs can be good, without Eric Bieniemy. But, the fact that everybody just buys in and nobody trying to just be the guy to get all the credit. This is a dynasty that they were trying to build, and the dynasty is just having trouble truly taking off. So Eric Bieniemy going to be interviewing for the Saints head coaching job, and absolutely he should get the job. He's probably the best, second best coach still out there, because I am kind of, let me go to this one right here. Where is it at? Here we go. We get this right here. The Dolphins are expected to interview Mike McDaniel, and I do like Mike McDaniel, so I would probably say Mike McDaniel, Eric Bieniemy are probably the two best options here that are left on the table. Stop with Kellen Moore, please. That man, he's not a head coach, folks. That man does not look like a leader to me at all. And once again, the entire Cowboys offense was so lackluster on what they should have been this season. So I don't like Kellen Moore for any head coaching job. Mike McDaniel, offensive coordinator for the 49ers. He seems smart. He thinks outside the box. He seems like a great leader, a great personality, a player's coach. He's truly checking all the boxes. He was making Jimmy Garoppolo have some success. The way that he was able to utilize Deebo Samuel in the run, in the pass catching game, you can definitely see, parallels between Deebo Samuel and Jalen Waddle's game. So now he goes from Deebo Samuel to Jalen Waddle, and once again, just his outside the box thinking, innovative thinking is what must take place in the NFL. That's what made the Chiefs so good. They thought outside the box. They're having this quarterback throwing on unnatural, kind of conventional throwing angles, and buying 10 seconds in the pocket and throwing back left across his body in the middle of the field. They went outside the box on their thinking. They were breaking the conventional rules. We can see Mike McDaniel doing some things like that. So love Mike McDaniel for the head coaching job for the Dolphins, and he's getting his second interview, I believe, today. He arrived in South Florida last night for his head coach interview with the Dolphins today. So Mike McDaniel, Eric Bieniemy, there's 2 coaches here, and there's 4 more spots, 4 more teams that do need coaches. So Eric Bieniemy, Mike McDaniel, would love to see both of these guys get a head coaching job, and we'll see which team they go to and which team they could potentially lead to a Super Bowl. I mean, offensive mind, folks. You need offensive thinking at the head coaching position. All right, and then we get, what else we got here? We get this, and this is, Eli Apple, and once again, he talked his talk after the divisional game against the Titans, talked his talk all that week, backed it up on game day, and now he's once again talking his talk here heading into the Super Bowl. So once again, we've got no problem with you talking the talk. You just got to kind of perform with all this extra added pressure on you. He's done it before, so we're not going to really question him. But he takes to Twitter and he tweets this: "Hey, Mecole Hardman and Tyreek Hill, DN me y'all number, and I'll hook y'all with them Super Bowl tickets on me. So talking to the Chiefs, who they just beat, and be like, hey, I can get you need the Super Bowl tickets because you're not invited, obviously, because you're not there, you're not in the game, but, I'm in the game, and I can get you some tickets. So Mecole Hardman, Tyreek Hill, you want some tickets? Hit up Eli Apple. So still talking his talk here, but he's been able to back it up here, so this isn't wavering. I don't think we're going to really truly take this into our account of, betting on the Bengals. Once again, not official, almost official, but we're loving the Bengals plus 4.5. And let's take a look at the value. We'll try to do this every single day to see when exactly lines are changing, and here they are changing now. Bengals only plus 4. They were just plus 4.5 yesterday. So people are taking that value of the Bengals, betting on the Bengals with the points here. So let's mark this. Let's mark this down in my notes here. We got Thursday, 2-3. It was Bengals minus 4.5. Then on Friday, 2-4. It is Bengals plus 4. So we'll keep a track on this value, folks. The odds, how are y'all betting it? And we'll track it for the next, week and a couple of days here to see where it ends up at. But you're losing value. And DraftKings, they're giving out, folks, if you don't use DraftKings for the Super Bowl, because they're giving out $10 million in free bets for the Super Bowl alone that you have to bet on the Super Bowl. And I don't think you can do any parlays. It's spread, total, and money line. I think those are the only 3 bets that you can do. They're free play bets, but part of the $10 million that they're giving out, they're giving out 5 $1 million bets to random people. All you have to do is opt in now, and then they give out the money 2 p.m., I believe, on Super Bowl Sunday. So hopefully we can save this value till Super Bowl Sunday, till we get the free $1 million bet, because I think I'd put it on the points with the Bengals to try to secure $1 million. So, man, oh man, that's going to be interesting. And if we get the $1 million, folks, you'll know. I'll just say that. Y'all will know. So Bengals value is decreasing while Eli Apple is talking his talk. I've got no problem with that. Alrighty, well, what did we get here? And everybody, obviously the Brian Flores bringing up the issue of racism in the NFL, and this is exactly what they're talking about right here. Because in addition to Bill O'Brien, Adam Gase's name keeps popping up when speaking to league sources about the Patriots' now vacant offensive coordinator position since Josh McDaniels went to the Raiders. But they're thinking about bringing in Adam Gase as an offensive coordinator, folks. Come on, stop. That man needs to be exiled from the league. We're talking about Stephen Ross potentially paying coaches $100,000 to lose games. Adam Gase was definitely taking that $100,000. He was trash, folks. He must be losing on purpose, because if you're that trash and you're still kind of getting talked about as still having a job here, yeah, that's where we could definitely see a problem with race in the league. Adam Gase should be exiled from the league, folks. This man, he's not a leader. First and foremost, he's not a leader. So I don't even want this man anywhere near my team. Leaders only. And if you can't be a leader, you're off the team. You're not even close to the team. You're not speaking to anybody on my team. I'm not going to let you influence. I'm not going to let your negativity, anti-leadership creep into my locker room and derail my entire team. I'm not letting that happen. So Adam Gase is garbage, and if he gets this job, I can kind of see what y'all are saying a little bit, okay? So Adam Gase, please nobody hire this man. Please don't. And Bill O'Brien, don't get me started on him. He just floundered in the national championship game at Alabama with all that talent. You flounder against Georgia, who you've already beat. You let Georgia come and beat you after you beat them? Come on, Bill O'Brien, he ruined the Texans. Now, a little credit to Bill O'Brien. He was more than just the offensive coordinator with the Texans. The offense was still solid, even though they kept losing. He doesn't know personnel because he was trading away all these pieces here. So if they're truly deciding between Bill O'Brien and Adam Gase, I'd go with Bill O'Brien, but that's not really that much of a compliment to Bill O'Brien. So that's what the Patriots are trying to kind of get to replace Josh McDaniels. Bill O'Brien or Adam Gase. Yikes. That's something. I feel sorry for Daniel Jones. Alrighty, and then we get anything else here? Last thing to touch upon quickly. Michigan's Jim Harbaugh says, and this is funny, Jim Harbaugh says the Vikings interview was, quote, the last time he'll chase an NFL coaching job, says, quote, this was a one-time thing. So, the Vikings, they were so unappealing. John Harbaugh was like, yeah, I'm going to stay to college forever. I'm done. I'm not going to the NFL anymore. So that's how bad, that's how unappealing this Vikings job truly is. Jim Harbaugh's like, yeah, I'm cool with the college. I'm never going back to the NFL. So we'll see what the Vikings decide to do. That's probably I would stay away from that if I was a head coaching prospect here. Saints job is easily way more attractive. I get Alvin Kamara and potentially maybe Trevor Siemian, who could potentially be good. Dolphins, I've got Tua, who I believe in. I've got Jalen Waddle. I've got an elite defense I could work with. Texans, what's the appeal there? Davis Mills? I don't know about that. Texans isn't that appealing. Vikings, though, I mean, with Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, what we're saying is really the only bright spot there, but I don't know. I don't see this Vikings job being that truly attractive. I would take the Saints or the Dolphins definitely over the Vikings job, but can't rely on Kirk Cousins to win games. Then what are we doing if we're not winning games? So Jim Harbaugh says, no thank you, Vikings. And that seemed to be like a sure thing. Everyone was kind of reporting like, hey, he's going to leave the college program to go back to the NFL for the Vikings. And that's not working out. And Jim Harbaugh says, yeah, I'm never going. This was it. This was the one chance if I was going to, and I'm just not. So Jim Harbaugh officially not taking the Vikings job. Alrighty, that is all the stories. Those were all the stories we needed to cover and break down and touch upon quickly here. So now let's head over to our final film study that we truly have to watch to get a good gauge on the spread, on our overall kind of thoughts on what we want to bet come Super Bowl Sunday next week here. We just watched the AFC Championship game with the Bengals, focusing on that defense, locking up Tyreek Hill, locking up Travis Kelce, and locking up that end zone, not letting the Chiefs score any touchdowns in the second half, pressuring Patrick Mahomes enough to make some bad decisions and, to kind of, try to get too cute overall in the red zone. And the Bengals just locked up and stepped up after big defensive stop after big defensive stop after big defensive stop. So this Bengals team, folks, we are truly loving what we're seeing by them heading into Super Bowl Sunday. But now we've got to watch the Rams. And what do we have true concerns about? We know they've got a great defense. That's nothing that we really have to kind of truly look that much into. We see it every single week. Aaron Donald, fantastic. Jalen Ramsey, fantastic. We know the offense is solid. Cooper Kupp always getting open. OBJ just had a wonderful game here. Didn't score a touchdown, but I believe he led the team. Second leading receiver with 113 yards. I mean, that was absolutely magnificent by OBJ. But while I was watching this game, folks, while we were watching this game, we've already had kind of, glimpses of kind of Sean McVay, his play calling being a little, I don't want to call it aggressive, but just like over ambitious for the time, not great for the time being called. So we get these glimpses here of Sean McVay going back to OBJ's first game, and this against the 49ers. It was against the 49ers where he kind of it just seemed like the way that Matthew Stafford forced that ball, that Sean McVay was like, hey, I want you to throw the ball. You have to throw the ball there. And I don't think we've ever gotten any official confirmation on that, but we got official confirmation of Sean McVay putting the blame on himself for a bad play call. So now that we got that, we've seen him be like, hey, that's on me. And that's fantastic by Sean McVay at the leadership position. A play didn't work, and it really was his fault. Like, we're going to talk about it when we get to that play, but like, why call that play in that situation? You got all these other guys that you should be trusting more, that you say you trust. Matthew Stafford, trusting him. Cooper Kupp, you don't need to say you trust him. I mean, we see what he does every single week. He's always open. But the play call that they did, it was super kind of head scratching. So that's kind of the biggest thing I think we should be focusing on for the Rams heading into the Super Bowl. Sean Sean McVay, the biggest game of the year, getting back to the Super Bowl with a quarterback that he wanted. He had no say in the Jared Goff. Jared Goff was there before he got there, and you're going to see what he can do. Spent, 2 years with Jared Goff. He's not the guy. He gets rid of him. Now he's got the guy, Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford's never been in this big game. He wasn't in the last big game. He's never been in an NFC championship game before. And now he's in the Super Bowl, a place he's never been in before, where he needs to kind of be the best he could be, what he always says he could be, and what all the fans always say Matthew Stafford could be if he was on a good team. It all needs to show on Super Bowl Sunday. So we get the Rams at home. Sean McVay needing to win the Super Bowl to kind of be like, hey, I told y'all I could do it. I just needed the quarterback. Matthew Stafford needs to show up and perform because, all his career is like, hey, I told y'all I could do it. I just needed the team around me. And they're at home on top of that. So they are all feeling the pressure, or they should be feeling the pressure to perform at the best that they possibly can. And we get Sean McVay in a game where they were kind of losing all kind of throughout against the 49ers last week. We get Sean McVay kind of saying, hey, that was not the best play calling by me, admitting, hey, this is a little bit of a mistake on my part. So, how deep is this? Was this just a one-time instance? Are we blowing this out of proportion? Should we blow it out of even bigger proportion? It's that extreme? So, we're going to go into some key plays here, some key third downs. Why do they settle for field goals? Were they too conservative on offense? Some key downs throughout the game, and we're just going to watch what the play calling is. Did it seem like a design play for a wide receiver? Was it like a 3rd and 10 and they were only kind of scheming for like a 3rd and 5, everything dink and dunk, not being aggressive? So we're going to break down the play calling here by Sean McVay to see if this is a concern and if this should kind of steer us away from betting on the Rams come next Sunday. And before we kind of get into that, let's show y'all the play I am talking about. So we got to go to the actual game footage here. We've got the play queued up. We've got the timestamp queued up here. No problem. So we got to skip to 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 23 seconds into the broadcast. So here we go. We get a 3rd and 3, folks. Rams down 17-14, folks, on 3rd and 3. Down 3 points, 7 minutes, 50 seconds left, and they're at the 49ers' 20-yard line. So they're already in field goal position right here to tie the game at 17. But why not go for that touchdown? Why not go for the go-ahead score? And look at the play calling that they showed right here. This one shot of Sean McVay in this play is truly why we're watching the film study and having to kind of actively dig through the play calling here of this game. And having to go back, because this was in the 4th quarter. Were there more plays, garbage play calls by Sean McVay leading up to this moment? So here we go. Down 3 points, 17-14. We get Sean McVay in the empty backfield. And on 3rd and 3, they're going to run a little bit of a screen pass here. And not trusting Cooper Kupp. They go with, I believe, is that Cam Akers that they were going with? And a 3rd and 3 turns into a 4th and 6 because they lose about 3-4 yards on a setup screen. So a bad play calling, and then this is the angle we're talking about, the shot that we're talking about. Sean McVay, you're going to see it right here. He taps his chest. That's on me. He says, fuck, that's on me. Talking to Matthew Stafford as Matthew Stafford is jogging off the field. Hey, this was my bad. This was not the play call I should have done. And this was a huge play call. Down 3 inside the red zone, and you don't trust your guys. You don't trust Cooper Kupp, who can get open 24/7. You don't trust OBJ, who's had a magnificent game and even had a great play on this drive leading up to this play right here, 44 yards. We're going to talk about that play. And it was a great design. They designed that open, so that's a positive to Sean McVay. But how much do the positive plays outweigh the negative? And if the negatives outweigh the positives, that's not where we want to be heading into the Super Bowl. But we'll talk all that through and watch all the plays. But Sean McVay being like, hey, this is on me to do a setup screen? a setup screen on 3rd and 3, and I know they have done setup screens throughout this game that have worked, but this is the chance where you try, like when you throw a screen, you don't trust your guys, you trust that the defense over pursues. Yeah, you trust that your guys make the blocks, and you trust that, the running back or the wide receiver, whoever's catching the screen, yeah, you kind of, expect them to kind of hit the hole and stick to the hole and see the field, but ultimately, you expect the defense, everybody to come through, not see it, and then everybody just kind of runs right past the screen. That's kind of what you're hoping for when you call a screen pass. It's not that you have firm believability in your quarterback to pick up the first down for you. No. You're expecting the defense to be out of position for you to pick up the first down. So that just showed really no trust in your guys who have led you to this moment. Who have they ever let you down? Matthew Stafford let you down once in the game against the 49ers, maybe twice. I guess this team has a little let you down a little bit against the 49ers, but overall, in the biggest spots, you got to trust your guys, whether they've let you down in the past or not, because you should have that believability, that faith in them to be like, hey, yes, we're batting 0 of 100 right now, but we're going to hit 1 of 101 right now in the biggest spots, in the biggest game, in the biggest moment right now. So, a little disappointed in Sean McVay here with the play calling, and this sets off the chain of events one more time. Watch Sean McVay right here. Fuck, that's on me. That's my bad. Tapping his chest. So, once again, there is good and bad in everything, and the takeaway, the silver lining is that Sean McVay is a leader. That's what a leader does. That's why we want offensive-minded people at the head coaching position who are straight up leaders. He could have blamed that on the offensive lineman. He could have put that on the running back for not seeing the field to be like, hey, why didn't you cover that? Why didn't you block this guy that made the tackle? That's on y'all. The screen works. It's been working. It's worked. So why didn't it work here? It's because y'all didn't get it done on the field. No. Sean McVay doesn't do that. Hey, it's on me. That was a bad play call. I didn't trust y'all. That's on me. Let's just go tie up this game. And why it's just even a little bit more alarming is because you were already in field goal position. So regardless if you try to hit the end zone here, just try to pick up the first down on like a 3rd and 5 slant or an in route or something like that, at least you're trusting your guy to pick up the first down and keep this drive moving. Here, they're just like, all right, we don't want to try and get too aggressive. We don't want to lose any more field position. We don't want to turn over the ball, so let's do something super conservative, super safe. So at minimum here, we're tying up the game 17-17. It's like, you've got to go out and win this game. You got to go out and win these games in the playoffs. You must be aggressive. Fortune favors the brave. Matt Damon, cryptocurrency, folks. As soon as he says fortune favors the brave, everybody should be emptying their bank accounts into crypto, right? Trust Matt Damon. He knows what he's talking about. He's been to Mars, folks. He's grown food and plant on Mars. You're not going to trust that guy with your money, your financial decisions? Come on, folks. Let's get real. Listen to the man on television telling you to buy crypto, yes? Alrighty. So here we go. Let's go into some plays right here. We'll take it from the all 22 so we get a true sense of the play and what they're trying to scheme and all that. So let's just kind of walk through their drives. We're only going to be focusing on kind of big plays, third downs, what's leading up to a third down. We'll look at what their big plays were to see if they were scheming good things, why they had to settle for some field goals, and all that. So let's start here with their first drive, and we get a third and we get to 3 and out here. 3 straight passes, 3-yard pass, and then pass incomplete. Let's start here with the 2nd and 7 pass. Then we'll go to the pass incomplete, but we'll just see what these plays are looking like. Were they trying to be aggressive, or are these all just kind of set up for the dink and dunk? So here we go. The 3-yard pass is just a little bit of a comeback route there. That's just a classic play, not being non-aggressive, not being super aggressive, but set up a manageable 3rd and 4. So now this is the play call we truly have to kind of focus in on. It's 3rd and 4, first drive, set the tempo of the game right here. What do they call on 3rd and 4? That is pass incomplete. All right, we got trips to the left here, and that seems where the play is trying to go. Matthew Stafford immediately looking to the left, and there is immediately nothing open, and they're all at the first down marker, so that's fantastic. He comes over right back to the right, tries to throw it over the middle of the field here, and that's open, but Matthew Stafford puts the ball behind. So Matthew Stafford not quite on the money. First drive of the game, getting out to a little bit of a slow start. Overall, the play calling is there for for Sean McVay. So, alrighty, solid there. We've seen Matthew Stafford kind of miss a throw here and there. It shouldn't be that concerning for us, that alarming. He always kind of overcomes it. Don't really kind of see it more than maybe twice a game, and that's kind of normal. I mean, quarterbacks are going to miss throws. I mean, no quarterback is 100%. We know this. Not even Patrick Mahomes. He's never 100%. So, overall, Matthew Stafford a little bit floundering on that first drive, but I don't think it's too much cause for concerns at the current moment. We'll still keep that in mind as we're watching the rest of these plays here, but so far everything is checking out good. All right, second drive, it results into an interception. Let's watch their first third down on this drive. It's a decent drive, sets up 3rd and 7 here. Let's see what they decide to call. Are they being aggressive? Yes, that's Cooper Kupp wide open in the middle of the field, doing his thing, getting the ball to Cooper Kupp on 3rd and 7, being aggressive. Good green flag for our Sean McVay narrative. Fantastic. Couple of plays later, we get another third down. We get, let's get them in the red zone. Let's see what they're calling in the red zone right here. So they get inside the red zone, and this is another little bit of a knock that we have. Let's see what this Rams touchdown percentage is in the red zone, because we've kind of known it's a little bit lackluster overall, but let's see what the actual number is here. So Rams red zone touchdown percentage. Hopefully they have been updating this for the playoffs. So let's see if we get that. So far it's up to date. All right, so that's good. All righty, what do we got? Red zone scoring percentage, touchdown only. Let's go to the Rams here. They are currently number 12th in the league. All righty. They said the last one was 100%. That's not right. Their last game, they weren't 100%. The last game was in the playoffs because we saw them in the red zone and they had to settle for a field goal. So I don't think these numbers are truly up to date. These might just be regular season, but let's just see what we get in the regular season here. We get 54% of the time, so it's kind of every other. They're getting a touchdown. The other, they're settling for the field goal. So kind of being 50% is really not what we're kind of aiming for. And this one, this guy's got nothing. This website's got nobody for their NFL red zone stats. All right. So it doesn't seem like anybody's keeping track of this in the playoffs, which is like, this is when we should be. We should be looking at this. All right, red zone passing stats. Here we go. Touchdown. He's got 32 touchdowns, 54% completion percentage, but that's a little bit different. Linked to his red zone passing plays. Wow. Where does this take us? I know this is a little bit of a tangent, folks, but I just want to see where this takes us quickly. I got to subscribe for these stats. What are you, crazy? All right. So it doesn't seem like we can truly look at their... All right. So I guess we can't find that out. But overall, seem to be kind of 50% in the regular season. Definitely, needs to be better than that. We got to see kind of like 65, 70%. And that may seem high, folks, but I mean, can we get it done in the red zone? That's really where the games are won and lost. 7 to 3 points. That's a 4-point swing here on most of the time for the Rams. So back to the second drive here, back in the red zone here. They don't get the touchdown. They don't get any points, and they throw an interception. So let's watch the play calling in the red zone. Good play, aggressive, non-aggressive, trusting Matthew Stafford, and let's see what Matthew Stafford looks like on the interception. So here we go. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. We get Matthew Stafford under center. Here we go. We get a run play, and it goes nowhere. They try to go right up the middle on the run. No go there. So, Sean McVay trusting the run game in the red zone, not just, trusting Matthew Stafford by his lonesome. And that's fine. I've got no problem with kind of equal run in the pass. I believe you have to set up the run for the pass and vice versa. So we like a well-balanced run and passing game. And we definitely trust these Rams running back Cam Akers, Sony Michel. Yes, Cam Akers fumbled twice against the Bucs. That seemed to be an outlier game. And once again, Sean McVay trusting your players. That was an outlier game, not being like, oh my God, he fumbled twice, he's going to keep on fumbling. That definitely could have happened, but you show your belief, you show your belief, you show your trust, you show your trust in your guys, your playmakers here, and they ran Cam Akers the most here. They ran Cam Akers 13 times for 48 yards. Not the best overall production, but they still stayed with the run. They stuck with the run and stuck with Cam Akers. So that shows the believability there. So once again, that's a green mark, a green flag on Sean McVay. But here we go. 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. They ran the ball first down. Here we go. We got a little bit of trips to the left here. Matthew Stafford just a straight drop back, dumps it down about 5 yards short, and now is going to be 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. Let's go back one more time here on this play. Seemed like only about one player was actually in the end zone here. We got OBJ double covered on the right side, so you're not taking that matchup. So going back to the left side here, yeah, nobody's even in the end zone. So, all right, a little too conservative there. Run on first down, everything a little bit short here on 2nd down. Let's see what we get here on 3rd and goal. Shotgun for Matthew Stafford back out of the backfield, and he tries to force it over the middle of the field, in front of the end zone right there, right on the end zone line, trying to fit it to Cooper Kupp, and that ball just gets tipped up, and this is great coverage all around by the 49ers. You got the back out of the backfield. This probably would have been the best place to go with the ball, the back out of the backfield, just kind of going out to the flat, not really guarded. And as soon as Matthew Stafford kind of throws the ball, we get this defender here that's playing the running back. He goes inside. But either way, this 49ers defense clamped up in the red zone. And we've seen the Bengals. That's what they do, is clamp up in the red zone right here. And Matthew Stafford, with everybody clamped up in the red zone, in the end zone multiple times right here, he tries to force it in. And that's a pick interception, a tip pick interception for the 49ers. So, oh man, folks, this Rams team struggling in the red zone right here. We'll see if it changes throughout the game, but so far, that first possession in the end zone, red zone, truly conservative, and Matthew Stafford trying to force something. And we get these plays by Matthew Stafford. We got him. The ball behind OBJ on 3rd and 7. This ball right here. Let's take it from the end zone perspective to truly see if this was on target or not, and just a good play by the defense. We'll get a great look right here from the back end. So here we go. He's just going to try to force it over the middle, a tight window, and yeah, that ball's behind. That ball is behind. You must throw this ball out in front if the defender is truly right on your ass right there, like he is. So Matthew Stafford, ball a little bit behind sometimes. This is kind of, why the drive stalled the first 2 drives. So, alrighty, let's see if Matthew Stafford wins us back here. 3rd drive, they go on a 20-play drive that results in a touchdown. So let's see how all this played out. Let's see if they were aggressive on 3rd downs. We get a 3rd and 2 right off the rip here. Let's go to this play, and they get a penalty. Oh, man, they get a penalty, bails them out. But here we go, 3rd and 2, Matthew Stafford. This is just, they throw a flag. They're trying to hit Von Jefferson on the sideline, and it's supposed to be a little bit of a comeback route, and the ball is uncatchable, but they get a flag for the 49ers. So their touchdown drive, a little bit of a bailout on 3rd down. Then we get another 3rd and 2, and they decide to run the ball here. Ooh, I love it. A little aggressive, a little sneaky on 3rd and 2. They hand off the ball. It works to perfection. They pick up about 3 or 4, but they pick up the first down more importantly. So Sean McVay running on 3rd and 2. Nobody likes that. That's not really too conventional, but, trying to kind of, outsmart the 49ers a little bit. And, that's fine to do, but don't get caught up in always trying to outthink the room, outsmart the room. So good play call right here. We're not going to knock it. We get another 3rd down. Here we go. We get a 3rd and 10 on this drive again. Let's see how they pick this up. Can't run on 3rd and 10. Here we go. Matthew Stafford in the shotgun, dropping back to pass. Everything is pretty well covered here. Decent aggressive throws. There's 3 of the 5 wide receivers at or beyond the sticks, so they're trying to get to that first down marker, 10 yards down the field. So Sean McVay being aggressive in the play calling. We like it. And then Matthew Stafford decides to take it himself and run with it. And we haven't seen Matthew Stafford really do that at all this season, but he was looking pretty fast on this run. So a new element to Matthew Stafford's game is his run ability. How many times did he run this game? 5 times for only 8 yards? Well, he got about 10 here, so he got sacked a couple of times, losing some yards sometimes. All right, so 1 third down, bailout with the penalty, another one. Nobody was expecting Matthew Stafford to run because why would you? I wouldn't play that either. All right, a little interesting on this drive. Here we go. Let's keep going here. They get another 3rd down. We get a 3rd and 6 a little bit later. 3rd and 6 from the 49ers 28-yard line. Let's start this one again. Here we go. Let's watch the play. We got trips to the left at the top of the screen. 3rd and 6 approaching the red zone. We get Matthew Stafford throwing anticipation. Oh, my God. Yes, and who is he throwing in anticipation to? Of course, it's Cooper Kupp. Look at this. Matthew Stafford throws this ball. This is just a little bit of a post route right before Cooper Kupp truly breaks on the post route. He made the right decision. We got trips to the right here, but the other 2 receivers that are a little bit more shallower, truly locked up, and Matthew Stafford with that trust factor. Man, oh, man, Cooper Kupp. Look at that. He was able to get 3 yards of separation right there before the ball was even thrown. So once again, Matthew Stafford, the passing game. Sean McVay must trust Matthew Stafford for Matthew Stafford to trust Cooper Kupp. So it goes down. It comes. It's like trickle down economics. It's trickle down trust, but it actually works. We all know trickle down economics never works. Trickle down trust. Sean McVay trusts Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford trusts Cooper Kupp, and this results into a touchdown drive. Trust coming from the top, trickling down, trusting your playmakers, trusting your weapons. Yes, that's what we love from Sean McVay. Alrighty, what else do we got here on this drive? So they pick up the 1st down on 3rd and 6. That was absolutely fantastic. Then we get a 3rd and 13 at the 16, and this goes for the score. So let's see what they called the score touchdown in the red zone now. So let's see what this red zone play is. And we've seen, the Bengals defense, they allowed the Chiefs to score in the red zone. They didn't have 100% lockup percentage, the Bengals defense, but they locked up in the points of the game that they needed to. The second half when they made adjustments, not allowing the Chiefs to really drive the ball at all. And then, game time, game on the line, 2 minutes left. We saw it the other day, 2 minutes left. 1st down from the 20. I mean, you've got so many opportunities, and the Bengals clamped up on that final drive to force overtime, and they win in overtime like we know. So let's see how the Rams scored in the red zone and what the Bengals should be watching and keying in on for the Super Bowl. So here we go. 3rd and 13, Matthew Stafford dropping back to pass, and there it is, the trust factor again. He's throwing to Cooper Kupp before he even breaks on these routes, and that's probably how Cooper Kupp is always wide open, because nobody knows where he's going, and the ball is already out of Matthew Stafford's hands. So Matthew Stafford's throwing the ball. Cooper Kupp could go inside, outside. He can come back. Nobody knows. But Matthew Stafford knows, and look at this. Before he even makes that cut, once again, this is just another post route to the end zone right here. And Matthew Stafford puts it absolutely on the money. Oh, my God. What a throw. We got to take this. Let me take this one from the end zone angle. I mean, we talked a little bit earlier in the week about, when we did our Tom Brady tribute. Does Tom Brady have like a big time signature throw in like a playoff game, Super Bowl, any big meaningful type of game? And we didn't really see any great ones. There were some little good ones here and there, but no like Big Ben Super Bowl throw to Santonio Holmes in the corner of the end zone to win the game. I think this is a little bit of a clutch key throw here by Matthew Stafford, a signature throw, if you will, in the NFC Championship game, his first one ever, for the first points on the board. Was this the first points on the board for the entire game, regardless of the team? And he made an absolute great strike right there to Cooper Kupp between those two defenders. So this is a little bit of a signature throw by Stafford right here. Man, oh man, that's a great ball. Back corner, end zone right there. They go up 7-0. not able to hold on to the lead for too long, but hey, you got out to scoring first and all that. You put the pressure on the opposing team. That's exactly what you try to draw up. Put the pressure on the opposing team by putting your foot on the metal, keeping the foot on the pedal, keeping the scoring going up. So that was great by Matthew Stafford on that drive, but bailout leading up to that a couple of times. But then Matthew Stafford clutches it up and makes some beautiful throws there on third downs, and they get the touchdown. So overall, the play calling is good. We've got no knocks with the play calling. We're seeing the trust from Matthew Stafford to Cooper Kupp, all that. Cooper Kupp's going deep. He's going to the boundary. He's going to the first down marker. He's going to the back of the end zone. So they're aggressive in their play calling. This is exactly what we want to see. We don't want to kind of worry about Sean McVay and his play calling. We love Sean McVay. Sean McVay is kind of, highly regarded in the national media, but I mean, you lose in the Super Bowl and you perform bad in the Super Bowl. I mean, that all that praise can go away instantly. I mean, people were kind of knocking Patrick Mahomes at the end of the year after everybody gushes and praises over him because he couldn't get it done because he was pressured all game long. And then the narrative came, oh, he can't work well under pressure. And that's how you beat Patrick Mahomes. All you have to do is pressure him. We found his kryptonite. He's not as good as we thought and all this. Now, it's not 100% true because we saw what Patrick Mahomes has done this season. Very good, escaping out of the pressure, a little bit better than what he's done. He's getting better and he's still young and all that. But for the moment, it's going to be frustrating for Sean McVay. It's going to be frustrating for Rams fans if this does become the narrative. Sean McVay, he can't get it done in the clutch regardless of quarterbacks. He had his guy and he still floundered, and we thought he was this offensive big brain genius, but here he is calling bad plays at the worst time that did not pan out to fruition, and that's why they lost, because they were conservative or the wrong play calling or whatever it is. So Sean McVay, so far so good here, dispelling a potential fear that we had while watching this game. But this is fantastic. This is what we want to see. Hopefully it keeps it up. Let's go to the next drive here. Their last drive of the first half. We get anything kind of wonky here. Let's go to this. And this ended into a missed field goal. So why was it a field goal? Why did they have to settle for the field goal in the first place? Was it a long field goal? Should they have not done a field goal? Was that on Sean McVay? So let's see what we get here on the next drive. We get a 3rd and 9. Let's see what they call here on 3rd and 9. 3rd and 9 from their own 24-yard line. Matthew Stafford back in the backfield in the shotgun, and he throws it down the field. And once again, just trusting your guys. All these receivers are pretty much going to the boundary. They've always got kind of a shot play right here, somebody going deep down the field. And then is that OBJ? Man, oh man, I think this is OBJ. And OBJ, what an absolute piece this is, and well done for Sean McVay. Yeah, this was for OBJ, and this is like, we need to praise Sean McVay for this. Getting OBJ actively involved, what the Browns never did, which forced OBJ's dad to speak up, which kind of forced OBJ kind of by association to, speak up. So Sean McVay still letting Cooper Kupp do his thing because he was the OG here. OBJ was kind of in replacement of Deshaun Jackson, and a little bit of who tore his ACL and he's done. Cooper Kupp, it was Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, a little bit of filling in for Robert Woods a little bit as well, but able to get Odell Beckham involved, actively involved, 11 targets, 113 yards, big time believability here on 3rd downs, and even on the main drive that kicked off this entire kind of film study here, he had a 44-yard kind of pass to OBJ down the field, and we're going to watch that play. So credit needs to go to Sean McVay for trusting OBJ in these big time spots. Well done for OBJ of getting open and catching the ball and not having kind of butterfingers or diva hands, whatever you want to call them, getting it done. So big time shout out there to OBJ. Great scheme, great play calling here, trusting your guys on 3rd down. This is exactly what we want to see for Sean McVay, and this is definitely making, our initial liking, potentially loving of Bengals plus 4.5. This is making it a little bit harder to truly focus and secure that and lock in that bet. So we're definitely going to have to take all of next week to kind of find what's going to be that one thing that truly makes us lean one way or the other. But let's keep going here. We get the great 3rd and 9 play call. And then a couple plays later here, we get a 3rd and 1, and they're going to go back to the run here. So we've seen a 3rd and 2 run. We're going to get a 3rd and 1 run right here. Matthew Stafford under center, and this is it. Fantastic. Not trying to get too cute here, running out of the shotgun or doing like a toss or a pitch where you turn a 3rd and 1 into kind of like a 3rd and 4 or a 3rd and 5 when you toss or come out of the shotgun. So Sean McVay here, fantastic, not trying to get too cute. Let's bring everybody in. Everybody's really on the line. There's one wide receiver like 3 yards from the line of scrimmage, from the last person on the line of scrimmage. So just run it right up the middle. Run it under center, and they pick up the 3rd and 1. So this is fantastic by Sean McVay as well. Not trying to get too cute. Not always trying to be the biggest brain. Not actively trying to play reverse psychology on your guy. Oh, it's 3rd and 1. I'm under center. They think I'm going to run, so I'm going to pass. But they think I'm going to pass, so I'm actually going to run. But then they think I'm actually going to run, but I'm actually going to pass. But they think I'm going to run off the pass, so I'm going to actually pass. But that's probably what they're thinking. So they think I'm going to run out of the pass, but I'm actually going to pass out of the run and then pass again. It's like he's not getting too caught up into his own mental gymnastics, okay? Like we just did right there. So, well done. Well done. But let's watch the play calling here because we get 1st and 10, and this is the start of why they had to settle for the field goal. 1st and 10, passing complete. 2nd and 10, 2-yard run. Is that smart? 2-yard run, 2 minutes left. You're approaching 49ers field goal territory and all that. Then we get a 3rd and 8, passing complete, and then they settle for a 54-yard field goal. That is no good. So, all right, let's break down these plays. Is this where we're starting to see the cracks of Sean McVay in the back end of these games? Halftime onward. So let's quickly see what we get here and start at the 1st and 10. That kind of derails it all. So here we go, 1st and 10. This is going to be a pass incomplete. Why was it incomplete? We got kind of 3 to the left here. Got 2 kind of underneath crossing routes. Matthew Stafford taking a shot and just overthrows the ball, and that's a shot right there. Love the play call. You've got time. You've got timeouts. Why not let it rip deep? I mean, these defenders truly got lost in it. The receiver even lost the ball a little bit, but you gotta come down and make that catch. Who did not catch this ball? This is a little, this is not good. Skowronek. Skowronek. Is that the tight end for Tyler Higbee? Man, oh man, that's, oof, you gotta catch that ball. But they were aggressive. A great shot play right there. That's great. That's checking all the boxes right here. We've really got nothing bad to say on this Rams team, folks, of everything that we've seen so far. Here we go. Then they go with the run on 2nd and 10. Okay, maybe trying to get a little too cute there. I understand it. Got a couple of yards. And then the next play, we get another incomplete pass here that sets up the long field goal. But here we go on 3rd and 8. And now you've got the option. You're at the 36-yard line of the 49ers. So, you've got 3rd and 8. You could potentially, pick up 4 or 5 yards on this one to set up a short 4th and 3 to go for it and all that. So let's see what Sean McVay's thinking was on this 3rd and 8. Was this kind of like a 2-down potential, pick up the 1st down in 2 plays? Or was this a, hey, we'll just settle for the field goal if we don't get anything? Or was this a play that says, hey, let's get a couple of yards to try and get a better field goal? So let's see what Sean McVay's thinking is at this moment. Let's see what the score is. It's 7-7 at the current moment. So tie game, all that, not down, trying to put the pressure on the 49ers. What is Sean McVay's kind of thinking at this point? Let's see. Here we go. Dropping back to pass. Everything is going well beyond the marker right here. They were just trying to pick it up. And Matthew Stafford, all the pressure, takes the one-on-one matchup to OBJ all the way down the field. And there was really nothing open here. Everything was really covered well, and Matthew Stafford just has to really get rid of the ball before he gets taken down. So they were going for it all on that play, not trying to do a, 2 plays for the 1st down on 3rd down and 4th down. So, all right, little aggressive there by Sean McVay, and then trusting the kicking game to get it done at 54 yards, and that does not go. So we'll see how Sean McVay calls the Super Bowl. I'm sure, he still trusts his kicker, just like he still trusted Cam Akers after fumbling twice at the end of the Bucs game. So probably still trust the kicking team a little bit come next week. All right, now here we go, the second half here. First drive results into a turnover on downs. Let's see how this played out. Let's start on the 2nd and 1. We get 2nd and 1, run for no gain. 3rd and 1, pass incomplete. 4th and 1, no good either, with Matthew Stafford trying to go right up the middle. So let's see what these plays look like. Conservative, not conservative, too aggressive. We get 2nd and 1, Matthew Stafford under center, and they just try to run the ball right up the middle, and the 49ers defense execute to perfection and don't allow any penetration there. Then we get 3rd and 1, Matthew Stafford under center still. We get play action, Matthew Stafford getting pressured and just has to kind of throw this ball into the dirt. Once again, let's watch this play. Did Sean McVay just get a little too cute? It's 3rd and 1. We're in the playoffs. Like, you just got to go for the run on 3rd and 1. 2nd and 1, you didn't get it. Try it again. Do it again on 3rd and 1. And maybe even go for it on 4th and 1 if you don't get it on 3rd and 1. But the trickery right here, the play action, doesn't really fool anybody on the 49ers. Everything is really kind of short right here, and everything is so freaking well covered. There is nowhere to go with this ball, and it just results into an incomplete pass, setting up 4th and 1. Now, what do they do on 4th and 1? Once again, under center, Matthew Stafford, and he just tries the QB sneak, doesn't get it. Sean McVay challenges the play, challenges the spot, doesn't win the challenge, but once again, trusting your guy. It's second half. It's Matthew Stafford, QB sneak, and he's got to do better than that. Matthew Stafford, he's a big-bodied guy, folks. Him not getting that QB sneak, that's a little alarming, a little concerning heading into the Super Bowl, where we could definitely see a 3rd and 1 situation, a 4th and 1 situation for the Rams. Like, that's not out of the realm of what we can expect from a Super Bowl close matchup. So, I probably would have ran it 3 straight times. They try to run with the running back, no good. They try to throw with Matthew Stafford, no good. And they tried to run it with Matthew Stafford. So they tried all the different ways. Nothing really succeeded there. So we'll see what the go-to is in the Super Bowl. What would you go to on 3rd and 1? I'd probably still stick with the traditional run. I'd probably get Sony Michel in there, run him up the middle. That's probably what I would do on just a classic. I need 1 yard. I'm not trying to outthink the room. I know it's the Super Bowl, but I'm not going to let the game, I'm not going to let the atmosphere, I'm not going to let the pressure get to me. And I think he still sticks with just a run up the middle, but we'll see what he does. Alrighty, let's go to these field goal drives quickly. Let's see how they score the touchdown. We get 3rd and 1 from the 11. Another 3rd down pickup in the red zone. That's pretty gosh dang good. Is it Matthew Stafford being clutch? We get him in the shotgun. Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, wide open. Let's see how they designed this play for Cooper Kupp to be wide open. We got trips at the left at the bottom of the screen here. Matthew Stafford, let's watch Cooper Kupp right here, and just loses them, a little bit of a bump and run, and Matthew Stafford throws it a little bit short here, definitely could have lofted it up a little bit more, still, and that was kind of like the one knock. I didn't want to get too picky with it, but that's, the other touchdown throw that we saw by Matthew Stafford to Cooper Kupp, just a little bit under, just a tad under, so we'll see if he cleans that up, because we know this Bengals defense has some ball hawks in the red zone. All right, so that was their last touchdown, and then we get the 4th quarter where they have to settle for these field goals. So we've got this 3rd and 3. This is the one that we watched. Once again, the setup screen that does not go. That kicked off this entire thing. That so far has truly not lived up to that. I don't think this is a narrative that we should be going with heading into the Super Bowl. Sean McVay not truly getting it right play calling. I haven't seen anything. This was just like that one circumstance, the one instance that it was not good at. So, and once again, this is why we watch the film study. We propose a question. We try to investigate it. Is this any cause for concern? And I don't think so. We get one more drive right here. This results into a field goal as well. So let's end it right here for our final conclusion. We're going to start here at 1st and 10 from the 49ers 12-yard line. All right, we're back in the red zone for the game. Tie game 17-17. Looking to go up either a full touchdown or 3 points, take the lead. Let's see how the Rams call it in the red zone. A little bit of game on the line. Were they trying to get the 7? Were they only settling for the 3 for any lead? What was Sean McVay calling at the end of the game when it all mattered at the biggest game of the season so far? This one's going to be weighted, folks. This one's going to be weighted a lot more than what we've seen already. But let's see what we get here by Sean McVay's play calling. Here we go. 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Matthew Stafford under center, and they just try to run it up the middle. A little bit conservative, like we saw the other time in the red zone. Running, the one that resulted into a field goal. They ran the ball. Everything was short. Not being aggressive, throwing the ball in the red zone. Here we go. Then we get 2nd and 11 here. Matthew Stafford, damn, this is bad footage. It's grainy as heck. What the hell is this? And even if we replay it, it's still going to be grainy. Oh, no, here we go. Okay, here we go. Matthew Stafford, looks like he was from this one got cut a little bit too late here, but it looked like he was under center, dropping back to pass. Everything is taking way too long to develop here on a 2nd and 11, and Matthew Stafford gets brought down for the sack. Now, we had 2 receivers at the bottom of the screen stopping short of the end zone. Nobody bid on it. It was well covered. We have 2 receivers at the top of the screen going kind of crossing in and out there in the back of the end zone, but either way, nobody was fooled by it, and this 49ers defense locked up in the red zone. And this is looking like the lockup that we just saw from the Bengals defense in the red zone. So here we go. And then we get 3rd and 18, and it's just a setup screen at the right. Once again, that's kind of a little bit of a phone in right there. We're just taking the field goal to take the lead. We're not trying to turn over the ball, make an unnecessary play, lose any more field position, anything like that. So a little conservative on the very last play call by Sean McVay, but the way that the 49ers have been locking it up in the red zone, I think we're kind of in for the same game that kind of we saw. Matthew Stafford making some big-time throws and all that, Cooper Kupp getting open, but overall the Bengals defense, just like the 49ers defense that we saw, locking it up when it truly matters, not letting you just kind of score touchdowns at will. So, man, oh, man. So, overall, Sean McVay's play calling, we have no issue with. He had like 1 or 2 mistakes in this game, and that's natural for anybody to have 1 or 2 mistakes in a game. I don't think I've seen anybody play a flawless game of football. Maybe Josh Allen when he scored a touchdown every single drive, maybe, but I'm still sure we could find a throw or 2 that did not go his way, even though every single drive resulted into a touchdown. So, Sean McVay, we've really got no black mark on him for a coach, leadership, play calling, anything like that. So this Rams team offensively should be really all good to go, all set heading into their game, their Super Bowl Sunday game against this Bengals defense. So we've got an entire more week to try to see which one should we be more believing in, the Bengals defense or the Rams offense. But I still believe at the current moment, getting any more than 3 points here is the play. And I still think I'm leaning a little bit more towards the Bengals plus the 4, even losing that half a point value, folks. So, for all of next week, we'll try to investigate some more things here between these two teams. See if we find any interesting stat that we should investigate, and we'll continue to watch that spread climb or fall in value, however y'all bet it. Alrighty, folks, so that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We are back live tomorrow, noon Eastern. Breaking down the NBA for sure. Don't know what we're going to be talking about in the NFL, folks, but we will be here talking about something. You better believe it, folks. We will talk something. We've got no problem finding something to talk about. So once again, just trying to get ready for Super Bowl, baby. We've got to hit the final bet. We must hit the final bet of the year to call it a successful season. So, alrighty, folks, have a great one. We'll see you tomorrow, and we will see you tomorrow. Alrighty, folks.